remains a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training. This is remains a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training.
Sports at the top of your game, world champion, and yet at the moment you can't do what you do, and there's no real sign at the moment of when you'll be able to do it. Yes, quite frustrating to be honest with you, Pierce, but you know, we're not in this boat alone. I'm not the only athlete on the planet who is not active at the moment. We're all in it together. We're all working as a team to source a date and a venue. Hopefully they'll allow crowds in sooner or later. And we're just all working towards that goal at the moment. Frank, we are seeing a lot of sport continuing behind closed doors. Could you have this fight with nobody there? No, not for that magnitude. No, Tyson.
So that is supposedly some leaked video from Tyson the Gypsy King Fury as he talked about the Trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder. Now, this audio was audio used by Blue Blood Sports TV as he tries to incriminate Tyson Fury for dragging the negotiations out. Okay. And what I heard on that video was a guy that was trying to get a fight done. I mean, I don't understand why this is an issue now. Now, it's leaked video or whatever. I don't see what's leaked about it. You know, it seems like to me, if anything, Tyson Fury began to talk and Frank Warren cut him off when they did ask Tyson Fury, could he fight between or behind closed doors? And Frank Warren jumped in. Okay, and I know that is the promoter's priority and his intention of the promoter versus the fighter. Okay, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, all those guys, all these managers, promoters, advisors, whatever you want to call them, all of these guys have the same intention, to make the most money. Okay, they're about business. So whenever it came down to going behind closed doors, fighting behind closed doors, missing the gate revenue of the time where you don't even really know when it's going to be, that's exactly what was said. You know, Tyson Fury said, hey, we're all working together. We're all laid off. This is a big fight. You know what I mean? And then now these channels are mad because Fury's moved on. He's moved on. They are promoting the fight of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. If Tyson ends up fighting Deontay Wilder, wonderful. It will be a justice served because of the contract. I don't know. Like I tell my people, we haven't seen the freaking contract. So we don't know what's on the contract. But according to Bob Arum, you know, he just lately spoke on this about arbitration versus mediation and the difference between the two. We know the difference, right? Mediation is before you arbitrate. Okay, arbitration is suing. Mediation is trying to come to an agreement before you sue. Okay, it's in suing right now. But obviously, when one thing leads to another, you have a certain situation where if you know you are in grounds to sue, you would sue. Especially coming from Deontay Wilder, especially a fighter that's supposed to be so dishonest like Tyson Fury has been. You know, along with all the other sabotage in the second fight in the rematch, like everyone claims. So if you were a person that you believed every single thing that happened to Deontay Wilder that night to happen to Deontay Wilder, you would want Deontay Wilder to sue first. Not mediate, but arbitrate. You would even want that to even be a mediation. What are you doing? You got all the evidence. We've been listening to Aki. We've been listening to Dante's Boxing Nation. We've been listening to Blue Blood Sports TV. We've been listening to all these other guys that has been putting together piece by piece on why and how Tyson Fury cheated by talking about shit that happened 5 years ago. I get it. That makes sense. So we need to move on to arbitration. Why would we mediate when we can arbitrate? Counterpunch. So now it's in an arbitration mode because the mediation failed. Okay? And we all know nothing. This leaked footage, what does it prove? Honestly, what does it really prove? That Tyson Fury was trying to make a fight. He was trying to get a fight, and if he's going to do that, if Blue Blood's going to do that, leave all the evidence out on the table. You know, but again, followers over there, and it's a lot of people are coming over here because they're starting to understand, like, yo, this is not a guy that's bashing these channels. No, I'm just telling you the truth. It's not about saying that people lie. It's about telling the truth about a particular matter. Not trying to twist it. What Tyson Fury said, oh, well, it's a big fight. Obviously, it's not a big enough fight than Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. That's what this is about. Why do you think Tyson Fury himself is deciding to just get away from this whole subject? The whole subject or the whole idea about fighting Deontay Wilder. Why do you think he's so keen on that now? You want to know why? Because Deontay Wilder gave him a fucking reason to. Counterpunch. He went out there, he came out of hiding, he started talking all this shit, and Tyson Fury got all pissed off and said, we're not going to do that, in the Mayweather voice. We're not going to do that. I'm not falling for the bullshit. Right? That's exactly what happened. Wilder fucked himself. He did. That's why he's trying to do whatever he needs to do to get paid, because he needs that money, because he was expecting that money, win, lose, or draw. Okay? I hope he had the confidence to come back into that fight. But it's like, if what we know about the mediation and then the arbitration, okay, the mediation was for financial compensation. Nothing more. It wasn't even for a third fight. So this leaked audio footage that Blue Blood's talking about, what does it mean? You know what it means? It means that Tyson Fury is interested and was always interested in the bigger fight. And the bigger fight has always been him and Anthony Joshua. You know what happened with Andre Ward? Remember Andre Ward came out and said, well, Deontay Wilder, you might not need to fight him again. And you got off with that. You know, cut your losses. And we'll see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua in Wembley 2019. Remember that? And everybody bashed Andre Ward. He's a coon. He's son of a white man and all this. That they said that. They said that. Okay? Because he said something that made sense that they did not want to hear. They do not want to accept Anthony Joshua is a bigger star by far than Deontay Wilder. That's how it's always been. It's like comparing a cantaloupe to a grape. Okay, cantaloupe to an apple. How about that? Okay? That's all that really means. Tyson Fury's going for the bigger fights. Tyson Fury's going for the money. He said it himself. Retirement check. He said that's why he didn't want Alexander Usyk to fight him. So guess what? If Tyson Fury wanted to fight Anthony Joshua that bad, he would be rooting and wanting Anthony Joshua not to fight Usyk. Right? So what could he do on his end? He could cut the losses with this shit with Deontay Wilder. Right? Because he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Because Blue Blood is right on this one thing. Joshua is kind of hesitant, and he's not going to make a decision until Tyson Fury comes in favor to sign the dotted line with the WBC intact. Now, that's true. That I will agree on. Because what happens is that Anthony Joshua wants the WBC. It ain't all really about the money. He got enough of that. It's about being undisputed. So if Tyson Fury can't deliver that WBC, we got a problem. Now, I know vested minds would want Tyson Fury to relinquish the belt. You hear that a lot, don't you? Oh, well, is he going to give up the belt? Why would he have to give up the belt? WBC has nothing to do with the contractual agreement. It's going as though it always was going to go. If Deontay Wilder decided to sue Tyson Fury, what does the WBC have to do with that? The WBC wanted to know what Tyson Fury's plans are, not Deontay Wilder. It was in play because he signed a contract with Deontay Wilder, not because Deontay Wilder was the mandatory. Okay? Who is the mandatory? Povetkin or White, whoever the winner is of that. So let's get it straight. That's the mandatory of the WBC. Whoever wins that fight. That's who that is. not Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has to fight whoever the winner of that is to become the mandatory, to become the WBC interim champion. Okay? So I want to get you guys straight on that. Is nobody's going to miss or strip or relinquish any belt because he doesn't fight Deontay Wilder because of a contract that they signed. The contract has nothing to do with the WBC. See, people need to understand the facts. These are the facts. Oh, you have to give up the belt. They want him to give up the belt because they don't like the idea of Tyson Fury beating him and getting the belt. That's what they don't like. Why? Because they're fans of Wilder. They are the Wilder channels. They support Wilder, high or low or whatever, right or wrong. That's what they do. And if he's wrong, they're going to make him right. That's how it works over there. Okay? But I'm going to tell you the truth. This is what it is. Tyson Fury at some point decided, hey, well, you know what? This is a big fight. We're all working together. And then Frank Warren, when they asked Tyson Fury about, hey, would you fight him out indoors? Frank Warren cut him off. Why would you think he did that? He did that because his ass knew he did not want Tyson Fury to say, yeah, I'll fight him indoors. Because he didn't want to cut off the money. Because when Tyson Fury cuts his money off, that cuts Frank Warren's money off and Bob Arum's money. And we already know Bob Arum wanted it to be a crowd because it's like, where's the money? You know that. So we know both of these guys are in cahoots with not wanting this fight. And first of all, it would have been a decent fight. It wouldn't have been a shit fight because there will be people that want to know what Wilder is going to do in the third fight, including me. What type of performance will he have? Okay, that would be the only thing. Did he get beat up? Yeah, he did. That's the reason why you want to see the third, to see if he did any kind of improvement, to see what kind of heart he has. Okay? That was that. That would be the reason for that fight. Now, would it have been huge? No, because the bulk of people will understand that, hey, Tyson whooped that ass last time and he'll do it again, so why would we want to see that fight? How many times have they fought again? That's would have been the mindset of the bulk of people that don't want to watch it. So it wouldn't have been just terrible, but it wouldn't have been great either. It wouldn't have been nowhere near the magnitude of the second fight. They would hope to have it break even from the second if they go that far, but I don't really think so. Okay? But then again, you cannot compare that to a potential mega fight showdown with him and Anthony Joshua. It does not compare. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this leaked footage from the Wilder channels, the usual suspects. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.